Hi everyone, this is Sneha from Whispers of the Soul. Whispers of the Soul is an initiative started by Energy and Emotions LLP where we express all forms of art from artists all over the globe. So, today we have a very special guest with us. She is Miss Lasya. She is a classical dancer for a sorry, really long time. And wait, I'll just add her.
Hello. Hi, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Sneha, can you hear me?
Yes, now you're clear. Yeah,
Okay.
okay. So, hi. As you have joined us on Whispers of the Soul, why don't you let all of our viewers know a bit about yourself?
Sure. Would you like to wait till you get more people? Would you like to do your intro? I think I joined somewhere in the middle of that. Is there anything you would like to talk
Okay,
about energy and emotions and the kind of work that you do? Yeah.
okay. So, Energy and Emotions is an institution like Mr. Louis Allen started it, and it is all about mindfulness and the inner voice. And Whispers of the Soul is an initiative that we have started, and it is for all the artists all around the globe who are doing great work with all of the arts, who are learning about themselves through art, expressing themselves through art. So, like you also, I went to your Instagram page. I saw the way you express certain expressions and emotions through your hand mudras, you call. So it was really nice. So I
Hastas.
saw
They're
that
called hastas.
hastas as a hand mudras.
Yes. Yes. So the
Okay,
mudra is different from hasta, but that's for a later Instagram chat.
okay. I saw that video where you were explaining how a class and you were expressing it. So I saw that and I was like, wow, this also can be explained through dance. So that was really nice.
Oh, thank you. That was
Yeah.
actually just after I recovered from COVID. So it was a very important one. I wanted to upload it long before. I couldn't manage, I had too much work. And then post-COVID, I thought it's never too late to share that information with everybody. So
Actually. Why don't you like tell us a bit how you got into like this form of art, how you got introduced to it, at what age you got into dance and all. So why don't you tell us about it?
okay. Um, so thank you for inviting me to be a part
Thank
of
you.
your session. I have read your brochure and seen your pages, and I found the work very interesting. I myself, I'm not just a classical dancer, but I'm also a practitioner of yoga, and I really like this subject a lot, what you guys are covering, and it's very inspiring. I hope more people visit your page and read about and know about your work. So, yes. Sneha, I'm born into a family of dancers. So
Okay.
my ancestors, my grandparents, my parents, my aunts, uncles, we are all artists. Dancers, musicians, storytellers, poets, authors, the list goes on. Okay, so, and my mom was, Amma was performing even when she was pregnant. So I'm assuming that's when my journey began, right there in her womb. It's been a beautiful journey. It's been an honor and privilege to be in a family full of passionate artists, creative people. So that's how, so it's very difficult to tell you when the journey started. As I said, I'm assuming it was when I was still in my mother's tummy. But how I got into this, how I learned the art form, see, you wake up in a household that has music and dance. So you wake up, you get ready to go to school, you come back, and you come back again into an environment and an atmosphere of music and dance. So when do you actually start learning? It's a difficult question to answer. So there's learning by osmosis, where you just pick up these things at a very
Mm,
subconscious level because you're constantly in that environment. We had
that's right.
structured learning. We attended dance classes that were happening in the house. So we had structured learning. And of course, we started performing. My sister is a dancer too, my elder sister, Lavanya. So both my parents, my sister and I, we have traveled with my parents from the age of, I think I was barely 8 and my sister was 9. So we started traveling. We did world tours with them. So we saw,
Okay.
and so we started learning from experience through our travels. And, we were asked to visit many.
Hello.
Oh, I think I'll invite her again.
Yes, can you hear me now? Okay. So I don't know. Maybe we should. Can you all hear us? I hope I was audible. I was rattling off non-stop, answering Sneha's question. Yeah, Bala,
Okay,
you
so
could hear
someone
me
told that we
until.
lost the seat.
Yeah, I know, I know. Bala, you were able to hear us, right? Until whatever I said in the till the last about our travels and all that. I hope you
Yeah,
guys could hear us.
uh, you were telling that you were invited to schools. Yeah, I mean,
Yes, so
yeah.
we were exposed to so many different cultures at a very young age. And the reason we were able to travel, Sneha, was because of the art, right? Because we were artists, because we were a family of artists. People call her, by the way, who will call an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old to run a session in school? I'm just saying, right?
Yes.
So that way, art gave us a lot. And it there was a certain richness. We were not moneyed people, you know. We were a regular middle class family, but the richness that we got because of art, because of our travels, because of the learning, because of our experiences, it was amazing. You can't it was absolutely priceless.
So I think, yeah, lockdown put a break on your travel life right now, yeah?
Um, so I'm talking about when I was younger, much younger. But yes, so lockdown didn't put a break on our creativity. But yes, we
Yeah.
would love to
Yeah.
travel. We would love to meet a live audience. That is something this has taken from, I think, everybody. But yes, I think we found different paths to recreate, things that we thought we couldn't do. So yeah, initially I think all of us were in a state of shock, but I think after 1 year we are all uh, pretty experienced with COVID and life that COVID has thrown at us, right? I think we can
Right, right.
manage. Yeah.
Yeah. So, can you explain a bit about how, like, what are the various dance forms you practice? Like, is there anything like what exactly you learn from each dance form? Like, how is it like how each dance form expresses itself? Like, you are practicing various dance forms. So, what are the various dance forms?
Okay,
I
so
know.
I got it. So I perform both Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi.
Okay.
Bharatanatyam, the Bani, the school that I learned is the Kalakshetra Bani. And Bharatanatyam has taught me, that is, that is something I have been performing since I was a child. My
Okay.
sister and I gave more than maybe 700 performances just in Bharatanatyam. And so that taught me a certain um, it's a Kalakshetra Bani, right? So it's very, very disciplined, and there is lines, and there is a need to practice perfection. So the sadhana that is involved in learning Bharatanatyam was different. Okay, the way Abhinayam is done, the way I expressed, it was different from when I started learning Kuchipudi. Kuchipudi also is something we learned quite early because, as I told you, we were traveling and there were parts of the world where they would ask us to perform Bharatanatyam and they would, we would move to another state and they'd say we want a Kuchipudi performance. So, Lavanya and I started learning both styles quite early. We were exposed to both schools. Kuchipudi is in Telugu mostly. It's from Andhra Pradesh. So, and we are Telugus. So it was my mother tongue, and I could very easily relate to the sweetness of the language and the expressions. Of course, I'm born and brought up in Tamil Nadu, so I'm as much a Tamil ponna as I'm a Telugu pilla. Okay, so uh, there's a certain fluidity and even the way you express, it's very lokadharmi. So there are two concepts in dance. One is natya dharmi, something where I use my hands and my eyes. It's got a textbook that you refer to. Natya dharmi is very proper to dance. Lokadharmi is very much things that you can relate to. For example, in dance, when I'm angry, I show my hands or I show a hand like this. In local, when you're normally angry, Sneha, we're not going to do this, right? I'm not going to say, Sneha, I'm angry with you or I'm angry. So, Lokadharmi is something that people can relate to. It's a very, a day-to-day thing. So, Kuchipudi has that kind of an essence to it where there's a certain fluidity and a certain naturalness in the way you express things. So I think both styles helped me explore different aspects of creativity. They are different, and at the same time, they are two beautiful creative expressions that each have so much to teach you.
Hmm. So, okay. So actually, when I was in school, there were Katha classes and there were Bharatanatyam classes. So I learned a bit that when in Bharatanatyam, your eyes follow your hands. Like wherever your hands are going, your eyes will follow. And in Kathak, you just have to look in the front and you perform. So in like how do you like when you grew up, you said your mom was performing when she was with you. So you exactly had a connection with like dance. You you grew up looking at it, but how do you personally connect with the art? Like how do you feel when you perform or now like you take classes? How do you feel?
Okay, so I don't know Kathak, to talk about that, but what you were talking about, there is a shlokam. Yato hasta tato drishtihi. Where the hand goes, there the eyes go. You've learned that? Yato
Yes,
drishti
yes.
tato manaha. Where the eyes go, there your mind goes. Yato manah tato bhavaha. Where the mind is, there the expression. Yes, it's a
Yes.
source. Yato bhava tato rasa. Where there is expression, there is born the rasa, the essence of this whole thing. That's how we connect with the audience, right? So I think this is true to every style. I don't think it's specific only to Bharatanatyam. But yes, as you said, each style has a flavor and has an essence which is so exclusive to it. And when you explore different styles, you are introduced to the different tastes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, so that it is very interesting to explore different styles, there is no doubt. And as my mother says, you can't get confused between two styles. It's like you attend a math class and an English class. Do you get confused between the two subjects? You don't, right? So similarly, if you have the proper gurus, who have that experience and who know how to train you, there is never a confusion. Right? Kuchipudi is Kuchipudi and Bharatanatyam is Bharatanatyam always. Okay, all right. So to come to your question, see the stage, I love being on stage, Sneha. Okay, it's it's where my heart is. Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm getting a feedback from some kind of noise. Is it just me or you can hear it too?
Okay, one second.
Yeah, sure, I'll wait.
Yeah, now it's clear?
Yes, I think it's better. Okay. So I was saying the stage is where my heart is. And when I'm on stage, it's a different world altogether. And I think I can speak for most performers. It's a magical world, and it's like you're living another life. It's something else. And as I said, it's just magical. So again, when it comes to performances, that is definitely something I absolutely love. I just love that. I just love being there on stage and living that life. When it comes to teaching, again, it's a huge responsibility. Um, you need to be very, very sure that you have that knowledge and experience to give. So again, it depends on who you're teaching, beginners or intermediate level or advanced level. So, we handle different levels when we teach students. Teaching again is beautiful because you're constantly learning, right? So the teacher here is really the art. You share what you have learned. What you have learned is not the end of it, right? It's infinite. So yeah, that way it's beautiful because you learn so much from students. There's a lot of give and take that happens when you're teaching.
Okay. Okay. So, like there are a specific step and everything that you learn in it. Some other than that, there are like your own personal like additions you add, like more creativity you add to it. You are more involved to it. So, what were the more creative explorations you added to your dance? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, you got more creative with it, apart from learning the basics.
So
Because
I think it's very similar to, ABCD. So you learn the alphabets, you learn the words, and then each of us take off from there, right? There are poets, there are authors, there are people, you start exploring that language in different ways, right? So I think dance is like that too. So you learn the basics, you learn the permutations and combinations to an extent. You see the masters at work, right? That's like a crazy amount to take in when you're actually sitting with your gurus, face to that guru shishya, that exchange of energies that happens between the teacher and the taught. So there's so much you absorb. And then somewhere you have to make it your own. There should be a little bit of yourself in it to call
yes,
it yours,
yes.
right? So you just let it go. You can't control or limit creativity. It's endless, right? Just look at the number of people out there. I mean, now I think with COVID and all of us sitting on social media more than ever, you see so much amazing work that's happening outside, right?
Yeah.
So it's endless. And I think you should just go spontaneously. Art is about spontaneity, right? A creative expression is a spontaneous expression. And you
Yeah.
just are the medium and you just express it.
So, do you think that learning a form of art, changes your perspective towards life, like as compared to a
Definitely.
normal human being?
I think every human being is an artist. Aren't you? I'm sure there are bathroom singers, and some singers are amazing, right? So we may not be pursuing it like the way somebody else is pursuing it. So the intensity with which you pursue that passion would be different, right? Otherwise, all of us will end up being artists because art is like that. It's like a magnet. It is going to pull you towards it. I'm not
Yes.
sure if the world can, run only on artists. Artists are a very, very important part of that. So, yes, I don't know. I mean, I think, I think that, I'm sorry, can you hear me, Sneha? There is some disturbance for me. I hope everybody can hear us. Okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Where
Yeah.
were we?
Now.
Can we? Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking like how did like as an artist your perspective change towards life and its processes? Like, hello?
Can we get some audience feedback? I'm sorry. So, yeah, perspective does definitely change. Uh,
Yeah.
Even in the way we understand a dance, say, that we have learned as the first dance. So, say at the age of 4 or 5, learned a dance. But from at different stages in life, my perspective of that dance itself would change, right? Because life is all about this. So at different, it definitely does. See, the kind of time you spend with art and the kind of connection you have with art when you're at the learning and the kind of connection you make with your art when you're performing. Okay, when you grow up a little more as an artist and you go up on stage and you start performing, you start communicating and expressing with different kinds of people, across cultures, your perspective is
Mm-hmm.
bound to change, right? You have to grow with that. And your art grows with that as well, right? So, I definitely think your perspective changes. There is no two ways about it. The way I was carefree with my art, say, before I got married. Okay. And then that would change a little bit. And the stage in which you are even in your life, it does, it will change. There is no two ways about it. And I think it's beautiful because whether it's passion or purpose, it's not a constant. It is something that's constantly changing. Okay. And I think every time you identify with it in a very different way.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I got that in bits and parts, but yeah, I got the overall
Okay.
perspective. So, okay, so I would like to say a big thank you to you to joining us today. It was like a really good session. Like, this is the first time I had a word with a professional dancer who has like practiced her whole life, I can say. But it was really like I got a different perspective altogether of like dance.
No, I'm glad. I hope it was a good one.
Yes, yes, it was really nice.
I know. I hope
Hello?
we, get there. I hope we get to that day soon where we can meet and talk and have discussions with a live audience rather than, dependent on connectivities and all those issues. So hopefully soon we'll meet.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, sure,
Oh, okay.
definitely.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us. Have a great day. Stay home and stay safe.